Padhyam Chalanya Pratima Swarupo Brahmanya Devo Hi Satah Gamyam Desham Yayo Vipnakrite Adbhuteham Tam Sakshi Gopalamaham Natosmi. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of God, Brahmanya Dev, who appeared as Sakshi Gopal to benefit a Brahmana. For 100 days he traveled to the country walking on his two legs. Thus, his activities are wonderful. So we are seeing the story of Sakshi Gopal, how there are two Brahmanas
Hare,
and Hare Krishna. Yeah.
the text is showing something else.
Yeah, I'm just revising what we did
Oh,
some
okay,
time
okay.
back, and then I'll come to that. So we saw this story of two Brahmanas who went to Mathura Vrindavan, and then the younger Brahman did so much service to old Brahmana that the old Brahmana wanted to give her daughter to the young Brahmana. And in this way, what happened is they came back, and then there was some misunderstanding. But then the Lord came himself to give Sakshi, and therefore his name became Sakshi Gopal. And then he stayed there only. And now further we'll see what happens. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So all glories to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda and all the other devotees of Lord. So now what happened was uh, till 120 we saw how the deities were served and then they passed away. And then later what happened is there was a fight and this country was conquered by the king Pushottam Dev of Orissa. So King Pushottam Dev is none other than the father of what we know as now today's time. We saw how the father of I think I just forgot the name. Mm, do you know the name? What was the name of the king who was the king afterwards? Pratapdeva Maharaj. Sorry.
Indra.
So yeah, so Pushottam Devara is the father of Pratapdeva Maharaj, and he took over Orissa. Sei Raja Jina Nili Tara Simhasana Manikya Simhasana Nam Anika Ratana. That king was victorious of the king of Vidyanagar, and he took possession of his throne, the Manikya Simhasan, which was bedecked with many jewels. So this is how he took, and then he took possession of the throne. So this Manikya Simhasan. Then Pushottama Deva Sei Para Bhaktarya Gopala Charana Mage Chala Mora Rajya. So Pushottam Dev was a great devotee and was advanced in civilization of Aryans. He begged to at the lotus feet of Gopala, please come to my kingdom. So actually Pushottam Dev also had so many brothers. So his father was a king and he had a lot, he waited for a long and Pushottam was the youngest of all. But he made him king because not only he was very great warrior, but he was a very good devotee. And because he was a devotee, he was made a king. And therefore he was very advanced and he begged lotus feet, please come to my kingdom. Tara bhakti vashe gopala tare agya dila gopala laya se kataka aila. When king begged him to come to his kingdom, Gopal, who was already obliged for his devotional service, accepted this prayer. Thus the king took the Gopal deity and went back to Kataka. Jagannatha Dila Manikya Simhasana Kataka Gopala Seva Karila Sthapana. After winning the Manikya Sim throne, the king Pushottam Dev took it to Jagannath Puri and presented it to Lord Jagannath. In the meantime, he also established the regular worship of Gopal deity at Kataka. Tahara Mahishi Aila Gopala Dashane Bhakti Kari Bahu Alankar Kaila Samarpani. When the Gopal deity was installed in Kataka, the king of Pushottam Dev went to see him and with great devotion presented various kinds of ornaments. So she also gave some ornaments and she wanted to give a valuable pearl she wore on nose and she wanted to Gopal and She began to think and then went to sleep. And then uh, she was thinking that, okay, if she had a hole, I would transfer. And then what happened? Eta chinti namaskari gela swabhavane ratri sesha gopala tara karena swapane. Concerned is the queen offered her obeisance to Gopal and returned to her palace. That night, she dreamed that Gopal appeared and began to speak to her as follows. So very important, what we do at night while before sleeping. If we are seeing our mobile and seeing WhatsApp chat and all, then what will happen? This is what we'll remember. But every night, therefore, Prabhupada has given us to read Krishna book. I should not speak because I was also not reading, but as a lesson from this is before sleeping, if we chant our rounds or if we do some devotional activity, gradually what will happen in our dreams also, we'll have some very good spiritual dreams. Here, because the king see the queen, what she did is she was thinking like this, all the deities that I will transfer a pearl to him and I. So queen offered obeisance and returned to palace. So that night she had a dream. So if one want to increase or improve his chanting, what one can do is at night before sleeping, if we can chant 1 or 2 rounds and go to sleep, slowly, it will not happen at night, but slowly what will happen is the vibrations of the chanting will go through our body, whole body, and gradually our morning chanting will very much improve. And at night also, if somebody is having bad dreams or some wrong things happening in the day, some fight, something, it all will be erased. So this is a very powerful thing one can do while going to sleep. बाल्यकाले माता मोरा नास छिद्रा करी मुक्ता पराना छिला बहु यत्न करी. During my childhood, my mother made a hole in my nose, and with great endeavor, he set a pearl there. Sei chitra adhyapeha achayana sate sei mukta parahayaha chahe chadite. That very hole is still there, and you can use it to set the pearl you desire to give me. स्वप्न देखी से रानी राजा का कहिला राजा सह मुक्ता लैया मंदिरे आइला. After dreaming this, the queen explained it to her husband and the king. Both the king and the queen then went to the temple with the pearl. Paraila mukta nasaye chitra dekhiya maha mahotsav kaila anandita haiya. Seeing the hole in the nose of deity, they set up the pearl then, being very pleased, held a great festival. So, if you see the word utsav, see this mahotsav, means great festival. So sav means negativity and utsav means to come out of negativity. And therefore in Jagannath temple we see out of 365 days there are 300 days are a festival. So in general we are always down. As a general tendency is always we are always down and always in negativity. That is the general thing. And for us to come out, what Lord does or what the devotees do is they have a festival every day. So that Utsav means coming out of that negative, and that means we'll celebrate festival, and that means we'll be very cheerful. So, what is the proof that people are in negativity or people like negativity? See, if we see the daily news on TV and newspapers, they're all negative. And this negative news is going on for last so many years and decades. But still is not changed. So what is the reason why they are not changing? Are they fools? No, they are doing for money because people are consuming. That is the reason they are not changing. And is that not there are not good things happening anywhere? No, that's not the case. Good things are happening. Somewhere there we see that we had so many Rath Yatras, so many things have happened. But that are not published widely. The way the newspaper, the TV media publishes bad news, like one attack here and there, it is published for so many days. So people are hearing so much negativity and so much things, and therefore so many people are negative. And this is a way, if people will like to hear positives, the newspaper and TV media will change the news because after all, they are after money. They are not after which news to be printed. If that gives money, they will give. But that is not the case. So that means if you see most people and are in negativity in their life, and therefore these festivals are a great medium to bring that to positivity, and therefore so many festivals be celebrated. Now here, for us, it's a small thing. That what happened? Seeing the whole deity, they put the deity and very, very pleased, and they celebrate this festival. So Yashodamai used to celebrate so many festivals. Krishna is born, let us have a festival. Now Krishna was on his back, now he has turned, let's have a festival. Now he is turned in the front and he's on his stomach now, let's have a festival. Now we have started walking, let us have a festival. Now we have caught Krishna, let us have a festival. Like Damodar, he was caught for one day, but we make festival for 1 month, celebrating that, oh, Damodar is caught, Damodar is caught. So that is the way, in general, people that how we celebrate so many festivals, and that will only please all the devotees people in general. Sei hai ta gopale da katna ke sthiti ye lagi sauksha gopala nama hai la khyati. Since then, Gopal had been situated in the city of Katak, and he has been known ever since as Sakshi Gopala. नित्यानंद मुखे सुनी गोपाल चरिता तुष्ट हैला महाप्रभु स्वभक्त सहिता. Thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the narration of Gopal's activities, and both he and his personal devotees became very pleased. Gopale rageya be prabhu hai stiti bhakta gane dekha yena duhe ek murti. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting before Gopal deity, all the devotees saw him, and the deity has been the same form. They saw that they both look same. Duhe kavarna duhe prakhanda sharira duhe raktambara duhara swabhava gambira. They are the same complexion, genetic bodies, saffron cloth, and both were very grave. महातेजो माया दुहे कमल नयना दुहारा भावावेश दुहे चंद्रवदाना. The devotees saw that both Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gopal were brilliantly effulgent and had eyes like lotuses. They were both absorbed in ecstasy, and both their faces resembled full moons. दुहारे की नित्यान प्रभु मागे रंगे महारंगे थारा थारी करी हसे भक्त गणा संगे. When Nityananda saw the Gopal deity and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that way, he began to exchange remarks with devotees. All of them were smiling. Ye mata maharange se ratri vanchiya prabhate cha lila mangal arti dekhiya. Thus, with great pleasure, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that night in temple. After seeing the Mangala ceremony in the morning, he started on his journey. Bhuvaneshwara Patheyachi Kaila Darshana Vistari Vaniya Chedasa Vrindavana. In the book Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur has vividly described the places visited by Lord on his way to Bhuvaneshwara. So this is all his journey. He visited places Bali Hassa, and then Bhubaneswar Shiva temple is located, and then Lord Gardens, and his king named Kashi Raja wanted to fight Lord, responsibility took the shelter of Lord Shiva. So it is a place and this pastime where it is happened, and Lord Shiva name is Ashutosh. So the different places which he visited. Kamalapura si bhagi कमलपुर आसे भागे नदी स्नान कैला नित्यानंद हाथे प्रभु दंडा धराइला. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Kamalapura, he took his bath in Ginna, the river, and he left his sannyasa staff in the hands of Lord Nityananda. So Chaitanya Bhagavat is there that Lord Chaitanya Prabhu arrived at Sri Bhubaneswar. Visit temple of Lord Shiva was Gupta Kashi. And then Lord Shiva established this as a place of pilgrimage by bringing water from all holy places and creating the lake known as Bindu Sarovar. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his bath in this lake, feeling a great regard for Lord Shiva. And from the spiritual point of view, people still go to take bath in this lake. So actually, by taking bath here, one becomes very healthy even from material viewpoint. So taking a bath and drinking water of this lake can cure many diseases of the stomach. So regular bath certainly cures indigestion. The river Bhargi or Bhargi Nadi came to be known as Dandabhanga Nadi after Lord Chaitanya bathed in this water. So it is situated 6 miles north of Jagannath Puri. The reason for this change in name is given as follows. So the reason is given further. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the temple of Lord Shiva, known as Kapoteshwar, Nityananda Prabhu was keeping his sannyas staff in custody, broke the staff in 3 parts and threw it into the river Bhargi Nadi, and later this river became known as Dandabhanga Nadi. So this is explained by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas from Mayavadi sannyasi, and Mayavadi sannyasi generally carry 1 staff or danda. So, taking advantage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's absence, Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff into 3 parts and threw it in the river, later known as Dandabhanga Nadi. So, in sannyas order, there are 4 divisions: Kutichaka, Bahaudaka, Hamsa, and Paramhamsa. And only when the sannyasi remains on the Kutichaka and Bahaudaka platform can he carry a staff. And however, when one is elevated to the status of Hamsa or Paramhamsa, after touring them preaching the Bharati cult, he must give up the sannyas staff. So when one goes further in his practices and he comes to Hamsa Paramsa stage, he also gives up the staff. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Sri Krishna, Supreme Personality Godhead. It is therefore said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anye. So 2 personalities, Srimati Radhani and Sri Krishna, are combined in the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, considering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be an extraordinary person, Lord Nityananda Prabhu did not wait for the Paramhamsa stage. He reasoned that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is automatically on the Paramhamsa stage. Therefore, he does not need to carry the sannyas danda. And this is the reason for Sri Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff into 3 pieces and threw it in the water. This is the whole story why he broke. Jagana tera devla dekhi avishta haila dandavat kari prema nachita ragila. After seeing the temple of Jagannath from a distance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately began ecstasy. After offering his obeisance to the temple, he began to dance in the ecstasy of love of God. So he started ecstasy. So actually, generally, he started offering obeisance from very distance, and this is the way it is to be done. Here also we saw that his known as Radhanath Maharaj, when even the Madan Mohan temple was not built. Before that also, he was offering his obeisances from distance only, that now the Madan Mohan temple, going to the temple, is coming here. And whenever some pictures are sent, he will not see the pictures. He said that if picture is sent, I will not be able to relish that. I want to see it on the near, like, and therefore he will see from different direction how it looks from here, and then he will approach the main deities and all. So very intimate, and these things happen. 2000 years. Bhaktagana Vishahaya Saba Nache Gaye Prema Vasha Prabhu Sangi Raja Margayaye. All the devotees became ecstatic and in the association of the Lord Chaitanya, and thus absorbed the love of God. They were dancing and singing while going along the main road. Hase kande nache Prabhu Karagarjana Tina Kosha Patha Hilasa Sasra Yojana. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cried, danced, and made many ecstatic vibration sounds. Although the temple was only 6 miles away, to him the distance seemed thousands of miles. So generally, when we go to temple, then we start dancing and all whatever needs to be done. But before the 6 miles only, they have started doing everything. And second is, it seemed to him like it is thousands of miles away. So when one starts bhakti, he thinks it's very easy, and one will become pure devotee very fast. Like 1 or 2 years, one become pure devotee and go back to it. After practicing for 15-20 years, one thinks it is very, very far. And I don't know how many decades or a lifetime it will take us to become pure devotee. So this is what happens. चलिते चलिते प्रभु आले अठारनाला ताहासी प्रभु किछु बाह्य प्रकाशीला. Was walking, the Lord eventually arrived at the place known as Athanala. Arriving there, he expresses external consciousness speaking to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. नित्यानंद कहे प्रभु दे मोरा दंडा, नित्यानंद बोले दंडा हैला तीन खंडा. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus regains external consciousness, he asked Lord Nityananda Prabhu, please return my staff. And Nityananda Prabhu replied, it is broken in three parts. And he gives the reply that Nityananda said that you fell down in ecstasy. I caught you, but both of us together fall upon the staff. And thus the staff was broken under our weight. Where the pieces have gone, I cannot say. मोरा प्रराध तुम्हारा दंड है लखंड ये उचित है मोरा कर तारा दंड. It is only because of my offense that your staff was broken. Now you can punish me on this account as you think proper. सुनी किछु महाप्रभु दुख प्रकाशीला ईशत क्रोध करी किछु कही तलागीला. So after hearing the story about how his staff had broken, the Lord expressed a little sadness and displaying a bit of anger began to speak as follows. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you all benefit me by bringing me here to Nilachal. However, my only position was that one staff and you have not kept it. So you all of you should go before or behind me to see Lord Jagannath. I shall not go with you. So Mukundatta kahe Prabhu tumi aya aage, ami sab pache yabe na yabe tumhara sange. So Mukundatta told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my Lord, you go ahead and we will all follow you. So we should not go with you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then began to walk very swiftly before all the devotees, and no one could understand the real purpose of the two lords, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. The devotees could not understand why Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff and why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu permitted him to do so, or why they permitting him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. Dandabanga Lilaye Parama Gambire Sei Buje Duhara Pade Yara Bhakti Dhira. The passion of breaking the danda is very deep. Breaking of the staff is very deep. Only one whose devotion is fixed upon the lotus feet of the two lords can understand it. So, if somebody has like this devotee, then one can understand. And here, Prabhupada has been the same reason which we saw above, that Paramahansa said there is no need to accept danda, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about it, and therefore there is no need of danda, and therefore he told it. So this is explained by Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Brahmanya Deva Gopalera Mahima Chaitanya Nityananda Vaktaryara Shotrasi Chaitanya. The glories of Lord Gopal, who is merciful to Brahmanas, are very great. The narration of Shakshi Gopal was spoken by Nityananda Prabhu and heard by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are 4 points of instruction one should consider in the story of Shakshi Gopal. First, the deity Archvikara of Sri Gopal is eternally Satchidananda Vigraha, the transcendental form of deity. Second, the deity surpasses material regulative principle and extends the reality of transcendental principles. Third, one can be situated in transcendental position after becoming a Brahmana, but as a Brahmana, one has to follow the regulative principles very strictly. And lastly, Brahmana Deva indicates that Lord Sri Krishna himself is worshipped thus Namo Brahmana Devaya Gurumayataya and Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. So this indicates the devotee who is under the protection of Krishna is automatically situated as Brahmana, and thus a Brahmana is not illusion, it is factual. So we could also have relationship like this with our deities and should try to develop it. So now we have heard this whole story, and now the results of hearing the story is coming. Shraddha yukta haye iha sune ye jana achire mile atyare gopala charana. So Shraddha yukta, one has faith and love, and he hears the story. What happens? Very soon will attain the lotus feet of Lord Gopala. Chira miliya tare Gopala charana. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asa Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following their footsteps. So thank you very much.